Hare Krishna, Gurave Gaurachandaya, Radhikaya Tadale, Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadabhaktaya Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadha Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ramo, Ramo Ramo, Hare Hare. So first of all, I give pranams to our Gurudev, Vishnupad, Sri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Gosai Maharaj, all Vaishnavas, Dandavat pranams. Okay, so we're continuing chapter 36, Madhura-rasa-vicara, Sthayibhava and the stages of Rati. Okay, so half we finished the other day, and I'm sure today we'll finish the other half, even though so much in this chapter probably we not understand, but still we should try to finish. Someone was complaining, like Shamala, the subject matter was too high. I mean, did she watch the other 35 chapters? Anyway, so in the Sthayibhava is present where the Nayaka is bound to the Nayak by the regulations of marriage. In Sthayibhava, the Rati is Samanjasya, we described that, up to Dwarka. But it is not competent to attain the most elevated conditions such as Mahabhav. We explained this. Sthayibhava is also present in some gopis in Braj, but Parikya is predominant. We explained that already, no? Some gopis actually married Krishna, but that marriage was Gandharva Vivaha, just an exchange of garlands. So this is not a real marriage. No? So still Parikya is there. In Braj only, this Rati goes to the stage of Samata Rati, and it reaches the stage of Mahabhav. Okay? How many types of Mahabhav are there? There are two types of Mahabhav, Rud and Adiruda Mahabhav. What is Rud Adibhav? Ruda Mahabhav. Ruda Mahabhav is the stage in which all the sattvic bhavs are manifest in Udipta, like fully blazing condition. Please explain the anubhavs of Ruda Mahabhav. In Ruda Mahabhav, even the passing of a moment is unbearable. This Ruda Mahabhav churns the hearts of those present. A kalpa seems to pass like a moment, and one feels dejected because of the apprehension that Krishna is undergoing some inconvenience, although he is actually happy. One becomes forgetful of everything, even oneself, and one moment seems to pass like a yuga. This Chaitanya Mahaprabhu described this in Shikshastakam. O Krishna, in separation from you, even a moment seems like a yuga. Yugayatam nimishena chakshusha pravasayatam sunyayatam jagat saravam govinda verehim. Okay, so these are the anubhavs of Ruda Mahabhav. Please help me to understand how even the passing of a moment is unbearable. This bhav is vachitya vipralamba, a special manifestation of separation. Even in the meeting there is a feeling of being separated, and even a moment's separation is intolerable. Right? Sometimes we hear at Prem Sarova, even though Radha is with Krishna, she feels separation, whereas this is a manifestation of Ruda Mahabhav. Another example is when the gopis saw Krishna after a long period of separation at Kurukshetra, they cursed Brahma for making eyes with eyelids that blink, because for that second blinking, that moment of separation for Krishna seemed intolerable. Okay, this is Ruda Mahabhav. This Ruda Mahabhav also churns the hearts of everyone present. Okay. Right. In Ras Leela, the gopis felt that that Ras Leela went for one night of Lord Brahma, but for the gopis that felt like less than a second. So these are all the anubhavs of Ruda Mahabhav. Okay. An example, even though Krishna is quite happy, the gopis feel intolerable distress that he may be experiencing some inconvenience. That is when, at the end of Gopi Gita, the gopis prayed to keep the lotus feet of Krishna upon their chests, but they feared that their chests will be very hard and Krishna's soft lotus feet will feel pain. This is also an anubhav of Ruda Mahabhav. Okay. Okay, so all these things we're hearing. What is an example of this? Kshan Kalpata, a great moment of time seems like a moment. When Uddhav met the gopis at Uddhav Keri and saw their separation, that time Krishna said, "O Uddhav, the days and nights that I spent with the Brijabasis seem to pass like a second." So this Krishna also can experience Ruda Mahabhav. Wow. Now please explain Adirudh Mahabhav. Adirudh Mahabhav is the mood in which all the anubhavs that are manifest in Mahabhav attain a special characteristic. And that those anubhavs achieve something even more astonishing. How many types of Adirudh Mahabhav are there? There are two types, Modan and Madan. What is Modan Adirudh Bhav? Adirudh Mahabhav is which all the sattvic bhavs of both the Nayak and the Nayaka are aroused to a much greater extent than in the Udipta condition. So it's like an increased, right? We heard before that the sattvic bhavs experienced in Udipta, but now they're experienced in the Sudipta bhav, fully blazing condition, all the Asta sattvics. In this modern bhav, Radha Krishna feel fear and anguish. Modern Adirudh Mahabhav. Yeah. Modan never occurs anywhere else except in the group of Radhika. It is the dearmost and delightful sport of the Ladini Shakti. So Modan Bhav, Modanakya, some call it like that. Modanakya Mahabhav. In separation, Modan becomes Mohan. At that time, all the sattvic bhavs manifest in a fully blazing condition. Okay, Modan. And now Mohanakya. Krishna faints while being embraced by another lover. That is the power of it. Radharani experiencing this Modan Bhav. That time Krishna, hundreds of miles away in Dwarka, but he falls unconscious. There is also the mood of desiring to taste unlimited unhappiness if that gives happiness to Krishna. This is also in Shikshastakam. Radharani prays, Krishna may be happy by embracing me or crushing me under his feet. Mat pranasnata sueva napara. We only want that Krishna always feel happiness. This is also an experience of Mohanakya. At that time when Radharani feels that mood, the whole universe begins to cry, even birds and bees. And in that feeling of separation, Radhika wants that the elements of her body continue to serve Krishna after her death. May the fire element go in the sun and lightly shine on Krishna. May the air element in my body blow a nice breeze onto his body. May the earth element in my body fall upon the dust of Braj so Krishna can walk on me when he goes here and there. No, in Sevakunj, this Rupa Goswami describes this separation of Radhika. This is Madana, this is Mohanakya. Okay, these are all the anubhavs, the feelings there. There are different types of Divyan Mad, divine madness. These are all the characteristics of Mahabhav that are manifest to the fullest extent in Radhika's Mohan Bhav, Mohanakya, more than in Moha. Okay, so all these things are given by Mahaprabhu to us in his Shikshastakam. Mohanakya and Madanakya Mahabhav. Please describe the two symptoms of Divyan Mad, right? Divyan Mad also we find in Brahma Gita. 10 examples of Divyan Mad are there. These are all Mohanakya Mahabhav. So Bhagavatam is not some easy thing. When Mohan Bhav attains unique, indescribable mode of behavior, which seems like utter confusion, then it is called Divyan Mad. It has many features such as Udgurana. Udgurana means dizziness. And Chitrajalpa, mad in speech. Okay. In Divyan Mad, there are many types of astounding and uncontrollable endeavors. These are called Udgurana. When Krishna went to Mathura, Radhika experienced all these things in separation from Krishna. Even though Krishna has gone to Dwarka, Radharani feels Krishna is just now coming. She decorates herself and prepares the kunj. And in that mood she chastises the dark rain clouds for being late. This is all the Divyan Mad. This experienced in separation. That's why Krishna went to Mathura, so that the gopis could taste all these things. What is Chitrajalpa? Chitrajalpa consists of the discourses between a friend and one's beloved. They are full of intense longing, as well as jealousy, envy, restlessness, pride, and eagerness. How many types are there of Chitrajalpa? Types. It's something we already heard about this before. Prajalpa, Parijalpa, Ujalpa, Sanjalpa, Abajalpa, Abhijalpa, Ajalpa, Pratijalpa, and Sujalpa. You can find a description of them in Brahma Gita in the 10th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. So he asked each, what are these 10? Okay. So I think at your own convenience you can read there, page 751. What is Parijalpa? Showing one's expertise through expressions that establish fault in Krishna, such as his cruelty, his treachery, his fickleness. That is in the first verse of this Brahma Gita. Vijalpa, that which makes that speech in which one outwardly makes malicious allegations against Krishna, while the aspect of man is hidden in the heart. Ujalpa, speech which described Krishna's treachery and hypocrisy. Like when Radharani describes, this is the fault of all blacks, non-white persons. We heard there was another black like Brahman who cheated his own devotee of the universe. There was another black who took sannyas, another non-white person who took sannyas and went to the forest with his wife. How lusty fellow. Okay, this is all Ujalpa. Sanjalpa. Sanjalpa is establishing Krishna's ungratefulness, harshness, deceitfulness, and so on. Avajalpa, expressing one's involuntarily or helpless attachment. For example, the bee may say, if Krishna is so bad, why are you speaking about him day and night? Then Radhika said, what can we do? This is the nature of Harikatha. No, we can give up Krishna, but we cannot give up that Harikatha even for a second. Okay? That is Avajalpa. What is Abhijalpa? Means to lament, such as Krishna even distresses birds and animals. What to speak of us? Attachment to Krishna is so much painful and useless. Ajalpa means to expose Krishna's duplicity and persecution due to self-disparagement. That is Avajalpa. And to say that only subjects other than Krishna and Katha give happiness. Pratijalpa, to show respect towards a messenger sent to Krishna, and then to give a bad message to Krishna. Sujalpa, inquiring about Krishna out of simplicity, with a mood of gravity, humility, restlessness, and eagerness. Okay, so these are the 10 manifestations of Divyanmad. Okay? Divyanmad is when that separation increases. So now he wants to hear about Madanakya. So we heard about Modan, Mohan, and now Madan. What is Madanakya, Mahabhav? When Prema, which is the essence of Ladini, increases even further than the Mahabhav I have just described so far. What is that? That is Mohan, Mohana. That time it achieves a state of jubilation due to the manifestation of all types of bhavs. It is called Madan. So when all bhavs manifest, that is called Madanakya. This Madanakya manifests only in Radhika, not even the other gopis in Radhika's group like Lalita and others. Is there jealousy in Madanakya? Yes, jealousy is very prominent here. It is even seen to be directed towards unworthy or inanimate objects, such as flutes and stones. Okay, just 1 minute, I'm going to have to plug in my phone. 1 minute. Okay. Actually, Padabhra is meant to take care of all this, but for some reason, everything he does fails. So, Madan in Madanakya. Okay, in Madanakya. Are you kidding? What is wrong? Change it again, I'm going to go nuts. Okay. In Madanakya, the jealousy is directed even towards inanimate things like stones, like Govardhan. Why is it not charging? Okay, 1 minute again. I should fire Padabja. Okay. Like stones and flutes. Okay, everyone can still hear? When does it... Madan is also famous for causing Radhika to praise anything in relationship to Krishna. Right, like we see in Venugit, maybe that's a good example where Radharani praises rivers, clouds, peacocks, deer. Some relation to Krishna is there. Madan is famous for causing Radharani to praise anything that has even the faintest scent of a relation with Krishna. Although she is constantly in intimate union with Krishna. For example, she feels envious of Krishna's flower garland and the Aboriginal ladies like the Pulindis. When does this Madan arise? Okay. Madana Bhav occurs only at the time of meeting. Where can we find description of this type of Madan Bhav? Is it there anywhere written by any sadhu? Is it in any scripture? This Madan Ras is unlimited. It is difficult even for Sri Krishna to understand. That is why Sri Sukadeva Goswami could not describe it fully. Even Krishna himself could not understand. He's the embodiment of knowledge, right? Then how anyone else could understand? So Gopal Guru Goswami says, Krishna is Ras himself, but still he cannot understand this Madan Ras. Krishna is unlimited and omniscient and omnipotent. Nothing is hidden from him. And nothing is inaccessible or impossible for him. He is eternally Ekaras. At the same time, he is also Anekaras. Guru Maharaj would also describe. Ekaras, he is composed of one substance, he is also composed of all substance. But because he is a Chinta Shakti, Krishna possesses the qualities of knowing everything and also not knowing. As Ekaras means he embodies everything within himself, and Anekaras, right? And he is also Atmaram, self-satisfied. No ras exists separately from him. However, at the same time, he is also Anekaras. Anekaras is obviously the opposite of Anekaras. Besides, Krishna possesses the quality of Atmagat Ras. He experiences everything in himself. Yet there is also Padagat Ras, the Ras experienced by others, which is not in himself, right? Krishna possesses all these qualities. Therefore, Krishna is both Atmagat Ras, he understands everything within himself, but also devotees are Padagat Ras, that which is outside him. So Krishna may know, he may also not know. Both things are reconcilable within him. Okay, so Vijay asks, he wants to understand everything, the essence of everything. So all the moods that arise in the Braja Devis are divine in all respects. They are beyond logic. Therefore it's not only difficult but impossible to describe these moods thoroughly. Right? What to speak of us in this world. It has been found in Shastra that Radhika's rag, attachment, manifests from Purvarag, that is the beginning. Under special circumstances that rag becomes anurag, then sneha, then it comes to man and pranay in certain circumstances. Okay? Okay, so Sadhanarati develops to the condition of Dumayit. Dumayit means smouldering, that is the manifestation of sattvic bhavs. Samanjasya Rati develops as far as Snehaman, Pranay Rag and Anurag, and it's called Dipti, blazing condition. But in Ruda Mahabhav, this is in the mood of the gopis, right? In Ruda Mahabhav there is Udipta, and from modern Mahabhav there is Sudipta. Sudipta means fully blazing condition. You should understand the Madhura-rasa is sometimes like this because the order of the stages may be rearranged according to differences in time, place and circumstance, right? So Sneha sometimes comes to different conditions. So Prem, Sneha, Man, Rag, but it's not fixed like that. Sometimes one condition may come before another. Sadhanarati develops as far as Prema. Samanjasya, like in Dwarka, goes as far as Anurag, but Samatharati, which is present in Braj, the Braja Gopis, develops the stage of Mahabhav. In Sakiras, it develops to Anurag. But some sakhas like Subal, because they're also serving in Gopi Bhav, their mood sometimes touches up to Mahabhav by the mercy of Radhika. No? Therefore I see the characteristics of Sthayibhava that you described earlier reach up to the limit of Mahabhav. Right? Remember, the Sthayibhava, Rati is the Sthayibhava of all these, of this rasa. So Rati is like sugarcane juice boiled, it becomes more condensed, more thick, and so that Rati reaches to the platform of Mahabhav. So the ras you taste in the stage of Rati, of course, cannot be equal to one drop of the ras, the taste, the ras, which is there at Mahabhav. If Sthayibhava is only one tattva from top to bottom, why do we see a difference between the rasas? This difference that between the rasas arrives from the different kinds of Sthayibhava. The mysterious activities of Sthayibhava are not evident. The different categories only become visible when the ingredients are combined with the Sthayibhava. The Sthayibhava attains the state of ras by a combination of the appropriate components of ras according to its particular hidden identity. And those ingredients are different, right? In the different rasas, there are different anubhavs, there are different ashrayas, right? Therefore there's difference in ras. Is the distinction between Swakya and Prakriya eternal in Madhura-rasa? Yes, it is eternal. Now the Babajis, they say it's not eternal. Say in this world you just practice Parakya, but in the stage of perfection you achieve the state of Swakya. The Babajis openly say this. But Bhaktivinoda Thakur says no. Right? The difference is eternal. If this difference were to be considered only arbitrary, then all the rasas headed by Madhurya Ras would also be considered arbitrary. Right, good point. One's eternal and natural ras is indeed his very own distinctive category of eternal ras. He has a corresponding ruchi and performs bhajan eternally. This leads to a corresponding type of perfection. Right, so what you practice again and again we hear, what you practice in this stage of sadhana, you achieve in the stage of perfection. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is therefore saying the difference is eternal. There is also Swakya Rasa in Braj. Again and again we hear this. Those who maintain the mood, Krishna is my husband, also have a corresponding type of ruchi. Sadhan bhajan, and they also have a different type of attainment. The quality of Swakya, of being married in Dwarka, is a Vaikuntha tattva, where the quality of being Swakya in Braj is a Golok tattva. There is a difference between them. Right? To feel I'm married to Krishna in Braj and feel I'm married to Krishna like in Dwarka, there is also a difference. You know, Jiva Goswami wrote something people cannot understand, so Bhaktivinoda Thakur explaining it for us. And why not? Here's the seventh Goswami, who else will explain? Vasudev Krishna is situated within Brajanath Krishna, and one should understand that the highest condition of the Swakya Tattva in relation to Vasudev Krishna extends only as far as Vaikuntha, right? So the married relation in relationship to Dwarka Krishna, only found in Vaikuntha, you cannot find that in Goloka Vrindavan. But there is Swakya in Goloka Vrindavan, but it is of the nature of Parakya. Hearing this, Vijay offered pranam to Gurudev and returned to his residence absorbed in great prema. Okay. So, Singharas and Vipralamba. Okay, so we will hear this the day after tomorrow. That chapter is not so long, so I'm sure we will finish it. Some people are complaining about the high nature of this topic. That is Jaiva-Dharma. You cannot think we'll be Rupanuga if we remain ignorant of all these things. For that reason it's also given. Okay, so everyone do their homework. Of course, how much you'll understand even if we read it 50 times. Even Krishna cannot understand these topics. But still, that is our duty. Again and again hearing, eventually one will understand. Homework is read chapter 37. Okay? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.